So I've been really thinking since the last video that I've noticed when watching the video that my speaking was absolutely horrible, and I want to try and get on over why I think it ended up like that. So the main reason is because I feel like what I say and mainly and also sometimes what I do just sometimes doesn't matter. And the reason why I think this is because it feels like whenever I try and speak or try and do anything, it just results to it mostly results to me just it results to a negative outcome. And I feel like because of this, and also because of this, I just feel like if I ever do anything like whatsoever, it'll just I'll just regret it later on. I feel like I feel like I don't. I feel like it's just very risky, a bit too risky, to be honest. And that video kind of wasn't a big example of how little my voice was. But so I feel like I have to speak up a little bit because I mean I've heard that many times. I've heard that many times. Speak up, speak up, speak up, speak up. And I feel like it's mainly because I feel like I feel like I'm just scared of what I say. It's primarily because I'm scared of what I say. And really this is mainly because of how I was developing over the years. And as I said, I'm now 18 years old, and I'm now I now have the ability to vote. I now have the I have I had the ability to get a license for 2 years, and I just feel like I feel like it's not even worth trying. I'll be honest. It feels so hard to try. And I know you have to, if you don't try, well, I mean, and really you don't get it. But I feel like even if I do try, if you try, then you'll get it. But if I feel like if I do try, it just isn't enough. And I feel like and I mostly say this to myself all the time whenever someone says you have you can do this, you can do that, you can do and I just feel like really what is that gonna help me with, to be honest. I feel like what's me voting gonna do? I don't know what these men do, and I don't really have any sort of good ideologies, to be fair. I don't really have any good ideologies, and that's why I pretty much stay away from mainly. That's why I mainly stay away from being to mainly be a person for advice, because I just don't have nothing. I have nothing to say. I'm very ill on my knowledge of just advice, man. I can only give out basic ones. That's pretty much it. It's like you see a boy, right? He's basically in his young ages. He's very expressive. He wants to share he wants to share a lot of ideas. He wants to share a lot of them. And he has a lot of ideas. He wants to share a lot of them. And he has a good passion. He has a really good passion when he eventually grows into a teenager. But then ever since but when he turns into adult, the last nearly 6 years of teenhood, he basically tries to actually make decisions on his own, and these start to negatively impact his life. And it goes to a point where he feels like he just can't do anything. And this can obviously depend on our own mentality. I probably think that I probably have a weak mentality. I don't know. I truly think so. I truly do think I have a very weak mentality, because of it's not really major what happened to me. As I said in the last video, it's not really major things. I mean, at least I think so. I'm not sure. I don't know how anyone else would call that, but I don't feel like it was close to major things. But I feel like that really exposed how weak my mental truly is. Really true. It did show how weak my mental was, because of how it left me on later on, just doing nothing, Because the fact is now, this is literally my summer holiday, and literally I'm not doing anything right now. Nothing. I mean, the only thing I've ever done was just make the last video, which was like a week ago, and literally I had all the time in the fucking world, and then nothing. But then this boy, he goes one last time to do something, and then he eventually leads to a great outcome. And that's really what I'd want to try to do right here. This is pretty much I'll be honest, this is pretty much the last thing I want to try and do, that I want to actually try and commit to. If I feel like I commit to anything else, I just feel like I'll just lose everything. I mean, that's a bit dramatic, no. I feel like I'll just give up on, attempting anything. Because even though I've resolved a lot of the problems I've had, I feel like it just exposed how weak my mental was when now I just don't really do anything, But yeah, those are just the thoughts I've been having, and really it's just and really, if anyone else can relate, I really sincerely hope you can give me some sort of idea. I mean, if you don't want to, go ahead. I mean, if you don't want to, that's fine. But if you want to, go ahead and you can share your own your own experience and stuff like that, and explain why you feel like whatever you say or do doesn't matter. Because I just feel like if I do anything or even say anything, it just unless it's not a joke. If it's not a joke and it's just a serious matter, I just feel like I just can't say anything, because really, what value do I truly bring? What value do my words bring in a serious matter? If it's not a joke, then to be honest, I just feel like I just have to shut up. I just have to shut up about it, because it's clear to me that no matter how much I want to try and contribute, just nothing really goes, and no one cares. But I mean, that's just I feel like that's just how I experienced it. But to be fair though, I no longer feel that hopeless, but this can be the first thing I can commit to, and this probably can be the first step, maybe, I don't know. But I feel like if this doesn't work, primarily it'll just kind of lead me to be a very stagnant idiot, So yeah, that's all I can say. So I'll see you later.